So whenever you see the name, you have to assume the functional groups according to their names that would be present, and you have to carry forward that curiosity while dealing with the actual chemical structure of the drug. Okay, so if you see nafazolin, you should assume that there should be a naphthalene ring, and there should be some azole kind of uh, five member structure or anything. That means there are nitrogen containing rings, okay, or nitrogen containing compounds. So naphthalene must be there. We have to check whether it is true. If you want me to tell that nafazoline is nothing but naphthalene as well as imidazoline connected with a CH2S bridge. That's it. So xylometazoline, oxymetazoline, clonidine. In clonidine, you have to there must be some imidazole or something. Okay, and methyl dopa means dopa is added with methyl group. Okay, clonidine Cl means chlorine atoms, and you know the chemical structures itself: dopamine, epinephrine, and norepinephrine. And the other subcategory is beta adrenergic receptor agonist. What is this? This will act purely on beta, but will not selective for alpha. So the examples are isoproterenol. Isoproterenol. It has other name, that is isoprenaline. Okay, what is the other name of isoproterenol? It is isoprenaline. What is the indication? It is used for anti-asthma. It can be used to treat asthma. And terbutaline, bronchodilator. That means it will dilate the bronchioles of our lungs. Salbutamol. The other name of salbutamol is albuterol. So it is also an anti-asthmatic drug, very very common. You can check your prescription of any of the people. If you have in your home suffering with asthma, you can check their medication. You will find salbutamol. And bitalterol is the novel drug, new addition to the syllabus. It is very very important. It is a beta 2 agonist, asthma, COPD. So very very important. And the other subcategory is dual alpha and beta adrenergic receptor agonist. So what is the example for it? Dobutamine. So dobutamine is used for the indication myocardial infarction, cardiomyopathy. Okay. So dobutamine, in dobutamine, DO we cannot predict. So as of now, buta means maybe butane is there, amine is there, NH2 is there, definitely there. Okay, and by tolterol, okay, we are unable to guess, but in the end, OL means alcohol. Okay, tol, maybe toluene must be there. Toluene, what is toluene? A benzene ring directly attached with CH3 is toluene. So bi means two of any molecules are present. So salbutamol, maybe salicylic acid or butane and alcohol. And terbutaline, again butane, some amino or amido group must be there. Isoproterenol, again it is an alcohol based derivative. So these all are our assumptions just for now. Okay, we'll cross check with our assumptions when we learn the chemical structures of the drugs. And these all are the three subcategories of direct acting sympathomimetics. And if you see the second main category, that is indirect acting sympathomimetics, first example is amphetamine. Second one is hydroxyamphetamine. Third one is propylhexidine. If you see first two drugs, amphetamine, if you know the structure of amphetamine, hydroxyamphetamine is very simple, that we have to add hydroxyl groups. That is, this is our assumption for now. Okay, so amphetamine, hydroxyamphetamine must be differing in only having additional hydroxy group for the amphetamine. Okay, so if you see the therapeutic indication for amphetamine, it has anorexic action, and that will be very helpful to treat obesity, and it is a CNS stimulant. The same therapeutic use for hydroxyamphetamine. And the third one is propyl hexadrine. Okay, six membered ring, maybe propyl means you know. Okay, in amphetamine, AM may be for amyl group, PH may be for phenyl group. Okay, there is an amine. Okay, and pseudoephedrine, nasal congestants. Propylhexidine and pseudoephedrine are nasal congestants. You can check the tablets, contents of the tablets that are being used for nasal decongestants, cold. The tablets used for the cold may be having any of these things, and cough syrups also. Check their labels for these drugs. And the third main category of the drugs, sympathomimetics, is sympathomimetics with mixed mechanism of action. The examples are ephedrine and metariminol. Ephedrine is used for the treatment of urinary incontinence, and metariminol is used as vasopressor in the treatment of hypotensive state occurring with spinal anesthesia. That means when spinal anesthesia is used, if it, for by chance if hypotension is occurred, then they use metariminol to treat that condition. Okay, so this is the classification. It is very important. The question may be asked to write the classification of sympathomimetics, or simply classify sympathomimetics. Sympathomimetics means that means adrenergic agonist. Adrenergic agonist. Mimetics means agonists. Lytics means antagonists. Mimetics means agonist. Lytics means antagonists. And you should remember these classification, and you should write them at least for 5 to 10 times to remember the classification. And please make note of their therapeutic uses. He may ask you to classify sympathomimetics. Write the therapeutic uses of so and so drugs, maybe epinephrine, phenylephrine, and xylometazoline, and write the pharmacological actions. Pharmacological actions you will learn in your pharmacology subject. Okay, and let us move further with the structure activity relationship of sympathomimetic agents. Okay, what is SAR? SAR is an abbreviation for structure activity relationship. What is structure activity relationship? That is talking about how the structure of sympathomimetic drugs are similar, and what structural component is responsible for therapeutic activity, side effects, or any other undesirable effects, or pharmacokinetic behavior or pharmacodynamic behavior. So we will have a few points here. When you are asked to write SAR of sympathomimetic agents, you have to cover these points, maybe in your own language, but understanding them with the mind and heart is very important here. So if you see the first point, the sympathomimetic drugs may be divided into catechol and nanocatecholamines. What is catechol? Catechol means here so catechol, a phenyl ring having two hydroxyl groups attached side by side is catechol. Okay, so adrenaline, you know, adrenaline or adrenaline and dopamine or dopa, all are catecholamines. These are one category of drugs, sympathomimetics. Okay, and non-catechols. Let's see what they are. Okay, so non-catecholamine contains a benzene ring and an ethyl amine side chain. So this is ethyl amine side chain. Okay, CH2 is ethyl, NH2 is amine, ethylamine side chain. Okay, so beta phenyl ethylamine is the parent structure for many sympathomimetic drugs. So beta phenyl ethylamine, so something like adrenaline without hydroxyl groups or with hydroxyl groups is the parent structure. So for most of the drugs, this is the parent structure. That is the point number one. So this is the general structure. We call it as parent structure or general structure. Parent structure or general structure for non-catechol drugs. Here options of only hydroxyl groups. Otherwise, phenyl group is there, that is having a side chain, that is ethyl side chain directly attached to amine. This carbon directly attached to NH2. Amine is alpha carbon. The second carbon is beta carbon. Please do remember it. So this is the parent structure of non-catecholamine drugs. If you see the second point, the receptor selectivity of the drug depends on the substituent at aromatic ring. Substituent at aromatic ring. Aromatic ring here is phenyl ring. Okay. Based on the substance present on aromatic ring, the receptor selectivity will be depending. Okay, so alpha and beta carbon and amino group. Okay, alpha and beta carbon and amino group. So sorry. So the sentence is very continuous. So the receptor selectivity of the drug depends on the substance at aromatic ring, alpha and beta carbons and amino group. So if you so the substance present at this amino group, alpha and beta carbon groups and these phenyl rings decides the selectivity for the receptors. That is what the meaning is. Okay, so then after that, maximal sympathomimetic activity is seen in beta phenyl ethylamine. Beta phenyl ethylamine maximum sympathomimetic activity is shown by beta phenyl ethylamine containing hydroxyl groups in the meta and para positions. So that is again a catechol. Meta means orthometa. Okay, this is the first position, second, third, fourth. First position and second position, if both substances are there, that is called as ortho. And first and third position, it is called meta. First and fourth position, it is called para. First and second position, it is ortho. First and third position, it is meta. First and fourth position, it is para. So what he is saying, the hydroxyl groups present at meta and para positions will be having maximum sympathomimetic activity. So that is again catechol. So beta phenyl ethylamine. So which is resembling adrenaline or adrenaline will be having maximum sympathomimetic activity. Okay, so and beta hydroxy group for correct stereochemical configuration. That means the structure is which is similar to adrenaline and noradrenaline. So this second point is indirectly pointing out to the chemical structure of adrenaline and noradrenaline. Okay, so this is the adrenaline. So without hydroxyl groups, it is a phenyl ethylamine side chain. Okay, ethylamine side chain. So noradrenaline exactly suits this. And what he is saying, the phenyl ring having two hydroxyl groups at meta and para positions will have the maximum sympathomimetic activity as well as the beta hydroxyl group. That means this hydroxyl group and this hydroxyl group is more important for their steric configuration. So he's indirectly pointing out to the structure of adrenaline and noradrenaline. So he suggests the new drugs should be following the chemical structure of endogenous molecule. Those are adrenaline and noradrenaline for their optimum therapeutic activities. So the first point is telling that how many types of drugs are there. One is the drugs having catechol as their parent structure, and the other category of drugs having non-catechols. Okay, and the second point is describing that where the substitutions are there for good receptor selectivity. So what he is pointing out, so phenyl ring having hydroxyl groups at meta as well as para positions will have maximum sympathomimetic activity, and hydroxyl group at beta carbon will be great for the correct stereochemical configuration. So the spatial arrangement is very much fitting to the receptor binding site. That is what the stereochemical configuration means. And the third point, if you see the presence of the amino group in phenylethylamine is important for direct agonistic activity. So the amine which is present in the side chain is important for agonist activity. Okay, the amino group should be separated from aromatic ring by two carbon atoms for optimal activity. So this amine and phenyl ring should be separated by having two carbons. That means ethyl bridge. We can call now that as ethyl bridge. That means what he's
Sir,
saying. Yeah.
sir, Sanya ma'am class తీసుకుంటారంట sir.
Okay. Time అయిపోయిందమ్మా. Okay,
Yes,
5 minutes.
okay,
Sujna
sir.
ma'am is taking the class.
No, sir. No, sir.
So then the class is for 1 hour. Okay, 5 minutes. I'll finish it off. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. So the presence of amino group is very much important for agonistic activity. Then the amino group should be separated from phenyl group with 2 carbons. Okay, so that is what the prerequisite. Then primary and secondary amines are more potent direct acting agonists than tertiary and quaternary. So